Hello everyone, my name is Mike Hubble. I'm the Director of Maintenance here at Hurricane Express. Today we're going to do a little reefer trailer 101. Talk to you a little bit some practical applications you guys are going to actually use on the road. So first we want to talk a small amount of time here on the actual engine compartment. To gain access through the door, it's pretty simple. Pull the lever out, turn it down, open the door. This center's a dummy handle. It's got a little spring-loaded clip. Raise it up and open the door. What we're going to talk about in here, first off, as you guys will notice, there's no more primer pump. You got to pump 500 times. These units have electronic fuel pumps. Run them out of fuel, fuel them, start the units. You should fire up, not the first time, you have to try the second time. Also, I want to let you know that the yellow fill cap is the only place we're putting oil in these units. It also dubs as a dipstick, so you can tell what your oil level is. Do not add oil where the orange cap's at. That's for the shop purposes only. We also want to kind of touch base on the belt system. So it's a two-belt system. The bottom belt here runs the electrical. The top belt runs the water pump. So if we have an issue, an alarm about high coolant temperature, we'll probably have to get out and check that belt, so it's good to know where it's at. So that covers what we're going to look at in the engine compartment. Do know that the oil we put in this is the same oil as the truck. It's going to be difficult to find on the road. So, I mean, whatever oil you can get to top it off, you're not putting enough in it to hurt it. The coolant at the very top of the unit, you're not going to be putting in. But if you're directing a shop to add coolant because of a low coolant alarm, we need to make sure that red coolant's the only coolant put in the unit, not green, yellow, or orange. If there's no red coolant available, water would be our next option. So, closing this up, we're going to move over and we're going to talk a little bit about the indicator lights up here to assist the driver in what's going on with the trailer. The bottom indicator light is solely to do with the reefer unit. So if you're running down the road and what normally would be a good light is a white T turns to an orange K, we need to pull over, check the reefer unit. See what code it's throwing, and find out what the codes are, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. And then you can communicate with me or dispatch with assistance. But the top light is the PSI or auto inflation system. That light comes on, it's an amber light. You got to pull over, check your tires. It is not connected to the brake system. So if you was to hit something in the road and damage a brake chamber, you would not see that light appear, even though your air pressure is dropping off from the truck. So that light comes on, it's strictly tires. Pull over, check them out. We're now going to talk about operating the actual reefer unit itself. Pretty simple system. You're going to turn it on. It takes about 2 minutes for the unit to power up. Want to talk a little bit about lights while we're killing 2 minutes here for it to fire up. Our trucks come equipped with a lot of lights. I mean, we're literally every 18 inches all the way down the side and top. If we lose one marker light going down the road, guys, we're not going to replace that, okay? We're going to wait till we get it back here. We're never going to catch any flack from the DOT. If you feel better about it, you can actually remove the light. An empty hole doesn't have to work. So, same thing with brake lights. We have 6 lights on the back of these trucks. DOT only requires 1 to be in service. So if we lose a tail light, a single tail light, we're going to roll it till we get back here and we're going to fix it. Just giving you guys that little bit of information while we're waiting for it to start. Right now, you're going to see that this is the current box temperature and this is the current set point. She's getting ready to fire up. We started up here in just a second. Well, as you can see, these S600 series Precedent Thermo King units are not real loud, which is pretty nice for drivers. Okay, so we're going to talk. So we've got a 64-degree box temperature currently. The unit's currently set at 40 degrees. If we want to change this number, all we got to do is go to set point. All right, plus or minus, let's take it down to 33 degrees.
Now, normally we would hit OK yes to lock that number in, but I'm going to show you an alarm, and this is fairly easy to generate. So if you wait about 20 seconds after not hitting yes, it's going to pull up an alarm code, okay? You look up here at the indicator, it's got an orange K. It's got the triangle there with the exclamation point. It's located directly over the sensor button. So a lot of people have made the mistake of thinking the sensor is how they get to that alarm. That's not the case. You have to go through menu. The same button as menu is also the down button. If you see the different features on the side there, you'll see the second one down is alarm. Hit the down button and hit select. Alright, it's going to pull up the alarm code and it's kind of a description. So this is code 127, set point not entered. It's kind of an idiot alarm, letting you know that, hey, you started the process on changing the temperature, but you didn't complete it. So in order to clear that alarm, you hit clear. It's then going to pop up and say it's 0 of 0 alarms, no alarms. Great. In order to get back to the main screen, you got to hit exit twice. But if you look, we didn't change anything. So now we're going to go back into the set point. We're going to drop it back down to 33 degrees. Alright, we're going to hit OK, yes. Now we're setting 33 degrees. It's shown in the box to the right, which means that that's the actual setting. At this point, I'm going to try to change the mode. And this is your mode button. There's two modes, continuous and cycle. It's going to tell you option plus active. Some features not available, so it's not going to let us change the mode at 33 degrees. If I was to change the set point to 32 degrees, hit OK, yes. 32 degrees. Now I want to change the mode. It's going to let me do it. The reason why this is because we've got it programmed to only be in certain modes at certain temperatures. That temperature range is from 81 to 59 is going to be both cycle or continuous. From 58 degrees down to 34 degrees is going to be continuous only. Actually, it's 33 degrees, sorry. Is continuous only because that's our fresh produce range. From 32 degrees to 0, it's only going to be it's going to be both cycle and continuous. From 0 down to minus 50, it's going to be continuous only, or sorry, cycle only, and minus 15 and down, it's going to be either or. Do that just to make sure you protect produce and protect cost. So, pretty simple. Change the mode back. We're good to go. Shut the unit down. It's as simple as hitting off. So, as you can see, it's a pretty simple and easy unit to work with. If you get alarm codes, what we recommend you do is go ahead and pull the alarms up, and then we would like you to take a picture of them prior to clearing the codes, and then sending those to me at my cell extension, which you'll get in orientation. That way we can look at it, see if there's any issues that may come with that code that we know about that you might not. And then we may advise you to go ahead and try to clear the code. Because if the code comes back, it may be a different code. All of those helps us in the diagnostic of the unit and the problem. All right, so if you clear one, you forget what it was, it may extend the time in the shop trying to figure out what was going on with the unit. All right, if you follow me back here. One thing we want to talk about is the fuel tanks and fuel gauge. This is a mechanical device that cannot be relied upon, to be honest with you. When you pick these trailers up, we want you to actually open up the tank cap and shine your light down in there to see what the actual fuel level is. Make sure you're fueling the reefer unit every time you fill your truck, so you know where the fuel level's at. Generally, if we get some type of unknown null restart on the unit, generally it has to do with it running out of fuel, where the gauge says it's still reading fuel, and it's actually empty. It's a mechanical device. It's not very reliable, so we can just take all that out of the equation. And if you manually verify there's fuel and you fuel every day, we'll not have a problem. Walking back here. One thing we want to let you know about is the California pinhole. We try to actually make this easy for drivers, is so instead of having to actually measure it out and figure out where it needs to be placed, if we zoom in here on our rail, you'll be able to see that we paint the California pinhole so that it's fairly easy for you guys to find. You'll know where it goes. In relation to our trailers, that's generally the 6th hole on the rail from the front. So next we want to talk a little bit about sliding your tandems. Everybody needs to know that in order to slide tandems and release the pins, you actually have to make sure the trailer brakes are set in order to release the pins. Generally when we buy Great Dane trailers, they arrive to us with the slider valve actually in front of the front tandems. And if you look, there's still a bracket for it, but no valve. We've actually, because of the skirts and where the California hole is at, we've actually relocated that valve between the axles so you always have access to it. So just kind of giving you a brief detailed description of this. It's pretty simple. Set the brakes, come release the trailer pins. You should be able to slide it to the stop to save you from having to get out of the truck. Once you get there, you release the brakes, which re-engages the pins, and then you back into the spot where you hear them click, and you should be good to go without a lot of in and out of the truck. So follow me around to the back of the trailer. At your dispatch's discretion, they're going to ask you to take a picture of the reefer unit controls and a pulp temperature of the back of the trailer at least twice a day. Some may want more than that depending on the load. I'm going to show you how that's done and what we recommend. So this is the inspection door on the trailer. It's very simple to open. This tab just gets pushed over, handle opens, the door comes open with it. If you get in here, you can see that somebody has already put a piece of tape on here. What we recommend is use your pulp thermometer to stick in that tape so it maintains position. When you pick a trailer up, you can actually shut it in the door and then leave it there until you need to come take a picture of it. So if you walk around the back and open the door, there it is. It'll already be at temperature. You can take the picture. It saves you time. Everybody knows time is money. So if not, you've got to put the thermometer in here, shut the door, wait 5 minutes until it gets down to temperature, then take the picture. So take a picture of the controls on the reefer, take a picture of your pulp thermometer, and send those to your dispatch at least twice a day. Also, when dropping trailers on our yard, this inspection door is where you're going to be putting the paperwork or the bills for that load. Okay, if you pick a loaded trailer up on our yard, that's where you'll find the bills for that load. So if you guys ever have any questions or any concerns with the equipment, you're free to call me as needed to be able to walk through any questions you've got. In the meantime, I want to welcome you to Hurricane Express. We look forward to working with you. Have a great day.